What's up guys, my name's Brandon and iOS 15 is just a couple of weeks away, and while Apple has shown off a ton of new features, not all of them are going to be available once iOS 15 releases to the general public. So in this video, I wanted to cover 6 features that Apple showed off at WWDC 2021 earlier this year, and even some that we got to try out in the beta versions, but will not be available for us to use in the initial iOS 15 release. So these are features that are going to be available in point updates like 15.1, 15.2, and so on. So let's start off with one of the headlining features of iOS 15, one of the main features that got everybody hyped for iOS 15, and that is SharePlay with FaceTime. So this is again one of the biggest features introduced on stage. Everybody was excited about this. I made a whole separate video on it, and it's not going to be making the cut for iOS 15 and is instead going to be coming in a future iOS 15 release. So this is a FaceTime feature, like I said. It's actually not available right now on the latest build of iOS 15, but I do have an older beta of iOS 15 with SharePlay still enabled, because again, we were able to beta test this. We were able to actually see the feature, but then Apple came out later and said, you know, this is not going to be in the iOS 15 release, so they took it out of the beta software as well. So SharePlay is a feature that allows you to listen to music and watch movies or watch TV shows with friends at the same time. So like for example, if I went into music right here, you could see it even shows SharePlay up top. So basically how it works is you just go and listen to an album. So if I went to Apple Music right here and just started playing a song from an album, you could see it gives us this pop-up right here to SharePlay the music. So you can SharePlay it, and then you guys can share the cues. You can like move songs around in the queue together, and it works the same with TV shows and movies as well. You guys can both watch and kind of react to the movie or TV show or music at the same time, and it's a really cool feature, but again, it's not going to be coming in iOS 15, unfortunately. Now, another feature that garnered a ton of controversy and quite a bit of backlash as well is CSAM detection. So this is going to be Apple's way of preventing and reporting CSAM, just like Google and other companies have been doing for many years now. So the features that Apple planned for this included scanning users' iCloud photo libraries for CSAM pictures and videos, communication safety to warn children and their parents when sending or receiving explicit photos, and expanded CSAM guidance in Syrian search. But now, after all of the controversy about our privacy, Apple's actually decided to delay this feature indefinitely. So it will not be included in the initial iOS 15 release, and maybe not even in iOS 15 at all. I mean, this is something that's going to take quite a while to really get the public to kind of forgive Apple and really change up what they're doing with the CSAM detection, because a lot of people look at Apple like, you know, their information is private, they shouldn't be able to see their photos and things like that, even though I think it was blown out of proportion and it's not really as big of a deal in terms of privacy as people think. It did get a lot of backlash, like I said, so Apple will really have to try to change some things up before they actually push that out to everybody, and it may not happen again, like I said, until maybe iOS 16 at this point. Now, next up is a feature that had its own segment during Apple's WWDC conference a few months ago, and that is universal control. So this was one of these standout features from the jump, and something that had a lot of iPad and macOS users really excited, because this would allow you to use the keyboard and the trackpad on a Mac to control an iPad, and you can even drag and drop content between the devices. I mean, the demo that was shown on stage was absolutely incredible, and it basically just builds off of the continuity and handoff feature. So it's not like this is an all new technology or anything. So I'm really not sure why this is not available for us to use, you know, when the initial version of iOS and iPadOS 15 drops. We haven't even seen this in beta. We were not able to access universal control even in the betas. So it'll be interesting to see when that comes out. It could be because Apple is just waiting for macOS Monterey to release, and that is a little bit behind iOS and iPadOS. So that could be why there's a delay, but we will not see universal control when iOS 15 and iPadOS 15 releases on day one. Now, another feature that will not be available when iOS 15 drops in a couple of weeks is digital IDs. So this is a feature that Apple's been working on for years, and it was announced at WWDC earlier this year, but it was never available in the iOS 15 betas at all. So this feature will allow you to scan and add your driver's license to the wallet application on your iPhone and allow you to use it at airports like with TSA. So you don't have to have a physical ID anymore, at least in the airport at TSA. Now, this is not going to work like at a bar, or if you got pulled over by a cop or anything like that. You will still need your physical ID, but this will be cool for, traveling in the airports and getting through TSA quicker. And actually, this feature just started rolling out to select US states, but it will not be available for all states or other countries for a little while. And if you guys want to read more about this feature and see what states it's rolling out to first, I will leave a link in the description below to Apple's press release from earlier this week. It's very interesting and gives you more details about this digital ID feature. The next feature that was shown at the Worldwide Developers Conference as part of iOS 15, but is not going to make it, is 3D navigation in CarPlay. So for now, on iOS and iPadOS, you get 3D navigation, you can see the maps in 3D, but it does not appear in CarPlay. So if you have a car with CarPlay, you could see the new maps features, the more detailed look and the animations and things like that, but you do not get access to 3D navigation just yet. Now, I would expect this to come very soon and probably in a 15.1 update, but for those CarPlay users, you will be seeing 3D navigation in CarPlay very, very soon at some point in iOS 15, just not on day one. Another feature that's been delayed is the Digital Legacy Program, which is going to allow you to set family members or significant others up as legacy contacts in your phone so that they can access your account and your personal information in the unfortunate event of you passing away. And this is going to be a lot bigger of a feature than most people realize, because right now in present time, if somebody died with a locked iPhone, iPad, or Mac, it's practically impossible to get access to those devices, even if you show Apple or the police or whoever a death certificate. So this will be a big deal when it goes live, but it's not looking like it will be here on the day iOS 15 launches, but hopefully soon, because that's one of those things, those features they don't really think about, but it is going to be very, very huge. And then the final feature that will not be included in the initial release of iOS 15 is the app privacy report. So we got the hide my email feature for iCloud, and we got the privacy reports for Safari. So for example, if we go into our Safari right here and we tap on the A's and then privacy report, you can see we have this right here, which is nice, but we still do not have any sign of the app privacy report UI that Apple showed us earlier on. So if we go to our settings and then go to privacy right here and then down to record app activity, you can see this is where it shows it. It even says saves a 7-day summary of when apps access your data, like your location or microphone, and see when apps or websites you visit within apps contact domains. So technically we have the feature, but we have to save app activity and then it saves it as a file and we have to manually go in and look at it. So we don't have the UI that Apple showed off, and that's going to be coming in a later release. As you can see here on screen, I mean, the UI looks so much better, and of course it builds it in instead of having to save the report and view it yourself manually. And this feature is super useful because it will show you how often each application has used your location, your photos, your camera, your microphone, and your contacts during the past 7 days. So I can't wait for that UI to show up right here, and again, it's probably going to show up in a point update later down the road, probably within the next couple of months, because that seems like a pretty easy thing to add in right here. So yeah, guys, those are 6 features that Apple showed off earlier this year, but will not be making it to the initial release of iOS 15. So these features will likely all be coming in a future point update, like I mentioned earlier, like a 15.1 or 15.2, although the CSAM feature is, again, a big one, and Apple may delay that a little bit longer than the other ones. But we should see, especially SharePlay, make its way to iOS 15 pretty soon after the initial release, because that's one feature that everybody was super hyped about and will be pretty bummed to find out it's not going to be in the first release. So let me know down in a comment below which feature you are most looking forward to and which one you're really most upset about not making the cut for the initial release of iOS 15. I think most people are going to say SharePlay, but let me know down in a comment below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe for a lot more iOS 15 coverage coming very, very soon. I cannot wait for the final public release. It's just right around the corner. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.